Alright, welcome back to my part 2 of this DIY. I'm going to do the cam install on my LS7. I just took the hood off and it's just 2 bolts right here and then 2 over there. Not hard at all. So I'm going to start tackling this and I'll show you how I handle it or how I go through the process, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I'm going to try to go over some of the stuff I went through to get the radiator out, because there's not a lot of videos showing exactly everything, and I'm working by myself right now, so I don't have no one to hold the camera while I'm showing it. So, but I did take this cover off, which is 4 bolts. Okay, and when you're in there working, I'll show you over here on the radiator. Obviously, you're going to take your hose off that runs across your other hose. You can leave it on. It's like an oil trans cooler over here. You have to unscrew those, 19 mil or 3/4, and down here it's going to drain a little bit, so get you a bucket ready. So you have to have that off, unplug your fan. There's a couple wires, hoses and stuff that are attached to these. You can take those off right here, and then on the front there's some clips right here. You can see it right there. That's where your I guess your evaporator coil for the AC mounts to it. You can take that off. Once you drain everything, get everything out, you should be able to start wiggling it loose and it will pull right out. So you can see I left this in here. All this is in here right now. And there's the brackets that slide out of those clips. And that's what your oil feed line cooler or trans or goes to. So I got a little bit more work to go. And that's kind of how everything's sitting right now. What else I can think of? I guess that'll be it for right now. Okay, so the next step is to take the driver's side front wheel off. We're gonna have to pull the steering rack because it's in the front of the bolt down here that we have to get. You can see right there, that's the steering rack. So we're gonna take it loose, slide it out the way. Got the car up. I think we have to take this bolt off to get to this oil cooler, it looks like. And that bolt, I think that will move. And then from my understanding, we got to drop the knuckles over here. And there's some bolts up here that we're going to get to here in a little bit. I don't know if the sway bar has to be moved yet or not, but I'll try it without it first. And let's see where we go. But yeah, we're gonna have to move steer column out the way, or the rack. So on to that next. I took this off the knuckle. 18 is what I used, and they have Allen wrenches if they spin. And on this side off, if you can see it. So next I'm going to tackle that bolt back there. There should be one on the other side. And I have my steering wheel straight. That way, if you pull the rack or have to pull it out, just keep it straight. Don't let anybody mess with your steering wheel. All right, well, I'm back in the shop today. Had to fight that rack and pinion. I got it out. It is doable. So once you take those 2 lines off that was over here on the rack and pinion and loosen the bolts that I showed in the last video on the bottom, there are I'll show you here in a minute. And I loosen it again at the knuckle and I pushed it all the way through, as you can see, and it's out over here. And the passenger is sticking out. You can't go but so far because the housing and I can probably move it a little bit more, but it's out the way. As you can see, I can get to it now, to everything I need to get the cam replaced. So also these right here go on the rack and pinion, and I hear it's kind of a pain putting it back, but I think they just hold it in place tight against the brackets. So I was told to either squeeze it tight on it, or some people freeze them. I guess it swells or something that helps hold it. So I'll get a video hopefully of me getting that back in. And what else? I can't think of anything at the moment. Just a couple, I took the water pump off. It was about 6 bolts, I think it was. And I'm about to put it on top dead center now by watching this one or the other one to come up top, and try to get this pulley off, or harmonic bouncer off with a pulley. And so far I'm getting there. It's just a little time. As long as you're doing it, you got a garage and you can do it and you got time, it saves you a lot of money. Again, I'll post whatever else I see as I go, but this is where I'm at the moment. Alright, I'm back on another day. Got my neighbor Caleb over here helping out. But we took the crank pulley off, the harmonic balancer off, and here is the bolts, holes right here. All that comes off, 10 millimeter, and you do need a good pulley to get it off. It's very hard to get off. And right now we're at the section part where we're going to drop the oil pan as far as we can. It's not much room in there before we pull this oil pump, because a lot of people are having issues nicking the oil pan gasket. What else we got? Took the lifters out, trays, and here's the old harmonic balancer, and drained all the oil out as well from the sump here, and then the oil pan here. I took the water pump off, which is pretty basic if you got to the other parts that I was showing you in my last part of the video. It's like 8 bolts holding the water pump on, and that pops right off. And to get the timing cover, you're going to need a harmonic balancer puller to get that off, and then you'll be able to get to the bolts and take the cam timing cover off. We got to the point where we want to take the oil pump off, and you have to basically drop the engine. We put it on stands because my wheels are off to pull the rack and pinion. It will hit this, what would you call that again, Caleb? A leaf valve, a leaf spring. Your pan basically sits on it, so when you put pressure back down on the car like this, and we put it on the ball joints, it lifts this back up and releases the pressure on that spring, and it gives us the clearance to drop this pan just a little bit more, and we loosen all the pan bolts, and now you got some movement here, and that's where we're at right now. So stay tuned for the rest. Okay, so got the oil pump off. Had Caleb hold the hammer on one side to press it down, and I eased it off like a baby. We're gonna change this chain out, or I wouldn't have pulled the pump if I wasn't gonna change it, because you can do your cam without it. But I got a K-Tech C5R LS chain. So yeah, we're about to take these 3 bolts off, and it should slide off, and we'll get to the cam. I'm about to be at the cam, baby. All right, well, now the B3 cam is installed. We lubed it. Sorry I didn't show no video of it, but my hands were sticky. We're getting there. cam on from yesterday. Had to get some Loctite. I use Loctite blue for the cam plate, and put the gear and then the Kotek CR5 chain. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. CR5 or C5R racing chain. Still has a little slop, but it tightens as you turn. So I think my other one was fine, but peace of mind. And Caleb has taught me that you have a dot down here and a dot up here, and that tooth needs to be centered and basically pointing to the other tooth. As you can see right there, straight up and down, and that's your top dead center. And number one should be flat and flush. ARP cam bolts in with a little bit of blue Loctite at 26 pounds of torque. I think it says 25 on it, but we're doing 26. On there good. All right, let's torque down. Okay, so I'm adding the Powerbond harmonic balancer on. So it doesn't, from my reading, it doesn't matter what position you put it on, because there's no keyway as long as you set your timing here. So I had the tool to install it already in. It just bolts through the crank, and then you start snugging this bolt up. Some people even heat it up, but I kind of went on pretty easily. So, and then I'm gonna try to lock the transmission to stop it from spinning. All right, I got the harmonic balancer on, and the new ARP bolt is installed. 235 foot-pound torque, and everything's in. The cam is in and everything's sealed up. Got a new timing cover seal where the crank is, crank seal. New timing cover gasket, and new chain, and probably something else I'm forgetting, but everything's in. And pretty much got the cam done. Just waiting on the heads, and I'm gonna start putting everything back the same way I took it off, just opposite direction. Then I took it off. But yeah, man, it's been a little job, but it's doable if you got the proper tools and time to do it. Save a lot of money. Okay, so I'm putting the power steering back in the rack, and I tightened my harmonic balancer down 235 with the new ARP bolt. So I guess what I'm getting at here is, if you can get your rack above and this up higher and move it, because there's a lot of movement over here. You see I got a little bolt started there, and get these little brackets in right here. And then if you get on top, you can just ratchet strap it, and it slid right in place. I can get another bolt in there if I needed to. So that might be something to help you guys out, to make it a little bit easier. Think outside the box. Oh, and Frankenstein heads came in this past week, so I'm ready to get everything back. I'm waiting on head gaskets right now. So got some nice new rework Frankenstein heads. So cam's already in the RPM B3. Yeah, right here it's already installed. I got some let's see, I got some Johnson lifters. Hold on, I'm gonna run these lifters right here. They're the two 116 LSRs. The tie bar. That way I'm gonna do away with the plastic trays and the stock LS7 ones.
Other than that, it's getting there. It's been a journey, but we're getting there. Good thing I don't drive this daily. So thank you for watching. Hope everything helped you, and any questions or concerns, you can message me on YouTube, or Instagram is One Sick Build as well, and you can hit me on that. Other than that, appreciate watching.